It's always red.
Is it?
Red's recording.
Oh.
50 fucking whatever.
And I've just noticed the red in the background.
This is episode 56, not including Patreon episodes.
I always notice the white line because it looks like my heart monitor.
56 plus Patreon.
Anyway, welcome to Mainly Murder with Meg and Mum. I'm Mum. She's the little bitch in the corner. Go.
That's the first time you've done an intro.
Woo-hoo.
We tried to do it
last.
Oh my god.
Oh no, she's broken her microphone. Okay, it's Mainly Murder
says you.
with just Mum. She's obviously not. She's not having a good day. Anyway, that red line apparently means we're recording. The white line means my heart rate's going through the roof every time she tells me creepy stories. Oh, come on, Megan. I can't feel all this dead air forever.
Oh, hi. I'm good. My microphone's...
Didn't ask.
Oh, okay. Fucking rude. Anyway, so today we, of course, will be talking about...
What?
The Aradale Mental Asylum.
Oh, I've been there.
We've both been there.
Not as a patient.
Well,
Megan nearly became a patient. Our last two episodes we mentioned we were in Ararat recording with little lovely Mel and Desi. And Desi got very worried during one of the episodes because Mel kept going, and she'd put her head up and go, what? You might want to explain Mel's guide dog.
Yeah, we did last week.
Yeah, but if they didn't listen...
Oh, well, yeah.
If they didn't listen last week...
Are you okay?
If they didn't listen last week, they wouldn't know that Desi's the guide dog from the gods.
If you don't know who Mel is, we also have an episode where we interviewed Mel, and she's so
brilliant.
Cool. So yeah, we went to Ararat for the weekend, and we went to the Aradale Asylum, and we went to J Ward, which we'll be covering today. I'll tell you all about it, guys. But we went around. We had a tour guide at the front, John. Great, he was cool. And then at the back of us, we had a lady named Sam.
Yeah, she was gross.
Yeah. And as you go through, and he's like, "Hey, don't lick the walls. They got lead paint on them." There was more information.
But we were the last tour, so
only tour. There's only
one a day.
Yeah,
one Sunday.
Yeah.
So she comes through behind, so she locks as they go.
Yeah, because there's no second tour, so they lock it all up.
Yeah.
So we're looking around, and I'm like, "Oh, this room looks cool." And I will post it on the Instagram because you can hear the moment that she doesn't realize that I'm in the room and shuts and locks the door.
Click, click.
And my first thought was, Mum's told her to just shut the door on me.
In all reality, it is something I would have done had I thought of it, but I didn't.
And then I looked out the window and she's on her walkie-talkie and she's walking down the hallway. I'm like, "Excuse me, I'm still in this room." She felt so bad though.
That was funny though. We're in the next room and I hear these two giggling coming from out of the room. I'm like, "Oh, what the fuck she done?" And then she comes in and that Sam comes over to me and goes, "I'm so sorry." And I'm like, "I'm only pissed off you opened the door and let the bitch out." I said I would have left her in there for a few more minutes.
Thank God it was like a very
daytime. You would have shit in the night. You would have cracked your jacks.
A light room because some of those rooms are dark. Like, and when we went downstairs to like their weird little storage area, I would have had a panic. I would be dead. I'd be a ghost.
You would have had a heart attack for sure.
But it is a great tour. It's very fun.
It goes for what? That was like 2.5 hours. 2 hours.
You do so. We'll explain in this, but Aradale Mental Asylum and J Ward are two separate buildings.
Yes. Two separate tours.
And two separate tours. So if you do, J Ward only runs at the moment, at the time of this recording, on a Wednesday morning or a Sunday morning.
Yes.
So if you book that,
it was like that's 10 o'clock, wasn't it?
10 a.m. is the only session. And then J Ward has tours every day.
And it was like 3 or 4 different tours.
Yeah, but they do go for about 2 hours. Mm-hmm. And depending how much you like, I don't know, I guess in the group and how much you chat and the tour guide and stuff, it could go for longer. But
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Or if someone has to dash off to the dunny and everyone has to wait for her to come back.
Yeah.
That could hold up.
While some poor kid's been put in a fucking straitjacket. Oh, God.
Should have been you.
We had fun. Now, fuck that.
Yeah, I know. I knew you wouldn't have volunteered for that.
Look, the place has mannequins.
If I had to guess out of the group of us who was going to do it, it was going to be that kid.
Or the young guy,
yeah. The young guy, for sure. The bird wasn't going to do it, and
no.
the old grumpy younger bloke with us too.
Oh, if he asked one more fucking stupid question.
But he was a teacher.
Was he?
A teacher. Yeah, he was a teacher. Oh. He was doing the tour to see what it'd be like to bring... I felt like he did adult learning, like maybe
well,
people
at the
that didn't
end,
speak
he
English.
asked about a birthday. party.
Okay, so yeah, it was something he wanted to come and do it to see if it was
okay.
suitable to bring this group
But
of
then
people
even the
through.
questions he was asking didn't. He just asked dumb fucking
Yeah.
questions. What kind of paint color is that? Like he'd ask stupid questions like
Yeah,
that.
True. As opposed to your questions like, is that a real mannequin? No, it's not a real person. It's a fucking mannequin,
I
you
didn't
idiot.
ask that. I was just scared of all the mannequins.
Yeah,
you
I
can't
know
just pop mannequins randomly.
Well, you can. That's why people get scared.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Anyway, so let's talk about Aradale.
Sure.
Construction began in the rural city of Ararat, Victoria, on the Aradale. It's a lot. Aradale, Ararat. There's too many r's in Ararat. So the construction began on the Aradale Mental Hospital in 1864.
Can we also throw in, if you go and do these two tours, go to the RSL for lunch.
Oh,
Absolutely
yeah.
beautiful
Good
meal,
RSL in
beautiful building.
Ararat.
Do yourself a favour.
And also, we did go on like a 32-degree day. So we
Oh,
were,
yeah.
Mum was fucked by the end.
Sweating. We were sweating in places that a lady shouldn't sweat.
Oh,
Look,
my
I'm not a
under-titties.
lady.
My under titties were moist. It was fucked.
Okay. God.
Anyway, so the first few patients were pretty much forced to do the manual labour and spent their days pumping water to mix cement to complete the rendering of the bricks on the building. So all the rendering around the building, patients did. Free labour.
Free labour.
It was built atop of the ironically named Madman's Hill. So we got told this during the tour by John. That there was kind of two hills and they were panning for gold on one of the hills.
Yeah.
And some other people went over to this other hill trying to look for gold. And everyone were like, oh, look at those madmen trying to find gold over there.
And there was nothing in it.
Yeah, I don't think they ended up being
No,
gold.
he said they found no gold in the Madman Hill.
And then they built a asylum.
Asylum instead for all the madmen and
So-
women and kids.
Yeah, lots of, just a big mixed bag of lollies.
Yeah.
It was originally known as the Ararat Lunatic Asylum, but in 1903 the government had the Lunacy Act of 1903, which removed the term lunatic from legislation.
Oh.
Lunatic derives... I found this really interesting.
Clearly.
Don't know if anyone else
The way your
will.
hands are going like you're Italian over there.
No. So lunatic derives from the Latin lunaticus. Lunaticus.
Okay.
Lunaticus. Meaning moonstruck or of the moon.
Oh.
Historically, it described people believed to have suffered from periodic insanity or erratic behavior influenced by the moon's phases. It was long thought that the moon affected neurological disorders and mania. You know when they're like, oh, crazies are out, full moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it actually comes from somewhere. So from 1905, the asylum was renamed Ararat Hospital for the Insane, where the records show that there were 381 men and 286 women. In 1934, it became Ararat Mental Hospital. And then in 1958, a local community competition was held as the town wasn't super thrilled about Ararat being associated with a mental asylum, and the competition resulted in the name Aradale. It was built along with the Kew and Beechworth asylums for the growing number of lunatics in Victoria.
Should still be open.
So what would get you into Aradale?
Train,
A
car, bus, push bike.
imaginary dragon.
Fucking-
So what was listed in what would get you in was postnatal depression.
That was like the stories he told about that. How
I've got the
okay.
the chick story that he worked
Yeah.
with. Postnatal depression, epilepsy, autism, Down syndrome, dementia, late stage syphilis, idiocy, which is
Well, that's pretty much our workplace. Yep, they're all in.
inebriation,
Again, most of our workplace.
delirium,
That's you every afternoon. You'd be
Wow.
fucked. You'd be in there. You've ticked a few boxes.
Yeah, I just don't have epilepsy or autism or Down syndrome or dementia or late stage syphilis. But I'm an idiot
Don't
that
you?
had postnatal depression. But delirium, apparently that's the word, or delirium, the symptoms equaled pretty much ADD or ADHD now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Imbecility, which is a state of extreme foolishness, stupidity, or feeble-mindedness. If you're suicidal, delusional, incoherent, religious mania, or acute mania. So they're all the lists that...
What about illiterate?
No.
No, so you're all right on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Being the mental health system in the late 1800s, everyone was pretty much lumped under the following 4 mental illnesses: mania, melancholia, which was depression, dementia, and paranoia. So you just kind of got slotted into those 4.
And the paranoia is probably like, no, my husband's just telling you this, I don't belong in here. Or my wife's just telling you this, I don't belong in here.
Well,
and in those cases, they were just like, oh, well.
Well, the man is right. You belong to him because he gave you 2 cows.
Yeah.
At the time, it only took 2 signatures to have a person condemned into a psychiatric ward, but it took 8 signatures to get out.
Oh, for God's sake, isn't that ridiculous?
Yeah, it's like, oh, your husband and his fucking brother.
And his best mate can sign you in and go, nah,
she's gone crazy.
She's nuts.
Over 90% of patients brought to the asylum were found wandering around by police. The remaining 10% were brought by a family member or by the local horse and carriage carrier, who, on the instruction of the medical superintendent, was engaged by the asylum to collect and bring patients from surrounding rural towns.
Wow.
So the next paragraph, I'm quoting straight from the Tyranny of the Leather Book, Colonialism.
Okay, Bogart.
Boggart, thank you. Mental Illness and Prisons in Australia by Joan E. Clark. So this is all from her paragraph.
I'm guessing she's so proud right now.
Yeah. The diagnosed with acute mania, some as young as 23 years old, often died within 3 or 4 days of arrival.
God.
The reasons documented were heart failure, exhaustion, or fatigue. Many died young due to typhoid, tuberculosis, syphilis, brain and other tumours, infections, ulcers, and amputations. These illnesses would not be labelled as such now, but the medical profession had no way of distinguishing a brain tumour from schizophrenia.
Well, you're talking about the 1800s, so you'd like to think we've come a little bit over all these years, wouldn't you?
There was no way of distinguishing a brain tumour from schizophrenia because they often presented with similar symptoms. Syphilis could present with the symptoms of mania. The decision of where to send a person with, for example, cerebral secondaries depended on how the illness presented. If the person was obviously physically ill, he or she would be sent to the general hospital. If the symptoms presented as a mental problem, he or she would be sent to the asylum.
And it would have been so easy for families. Not easy, but back then it was like, oh, that's going to be a whole lot of work looking after that person or that child.
Yeah.
Just put them in the asylum, let them deal with them because we don't have the money, the time, the facilities,
especially when they the same.
Not like they could just, hey, Google.
Yeah, or they didn't have NDIS back then.
No,
they didn't
that's
have
right. Didn't have any support. Exactly. That's why it was like, we can't deal, but we can go and tell them. 2 of us can sign and say,
yeah,
they're a handful. You deal. Yeah. Sadly, that's how easy it was. Pretty much.
And there was a time that epilepsy, Down syndrome, and autism, they were like the devil.
Yeah, that's right. Whereas Down syndrome, God, look at those pages on Instagram. They're the cutest fucking kids ever.
Have you seen the bakery?
What bakery?
There's a bakery and it's called...
In Australia or?
I think it's in America.
Oh.
But I think someone with Down syndrome runs it.
Well, you look at all the actors now as well that do... A lot of shows now have people with Down syndrome.
Oh, it's in the Netherlands and it's called Brownies and Downies.
Aww.
They come up on my Instagram all the time. Or TikTok.
And what, they run it and people with Down syndrome work in there?
Yeah, people with Down syndrome work there.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Don't mean to sound condescending, but that's cute.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm just saying that's awesome.
And it's showing that hey, you can do fucking anything.
That's right.
So the facility was originally meant to hold 250 patients, but the asylum was built as a town within a town with its own market gardens,
mm-hmm.
orchard, vineyards, piggery, and other stock kept on the grounds. So this place is fucking huge.
Yeah, I know. In 2
we only
hours.
saw, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, we only did how much? 25% of it or something?
And it's so sad because we couldn't access a lot of it because it is too dangerous.
Yeah,
it's falling
right.
apart.
It's falling apart.
One's doing anything.
Except for kids on weekends that break in and
do it.
Graffiti parts of it and shit like that. Little assholes break windows and stuff. Whereas some up high, the windows and the glasswork is magnificent.
Yeah, all the stained glass and
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, it's just so sad that it's so huge and they could do something with it, but they just need someone to
A lot of money.
fund it.
Where's
Yeah.
that bloke that just won the 80 million recently?
Yeah, go
Oi,
by
if you're
Aradale.
listening, get up there. Give him a chop out.
So by 1873, they were producing 8 tons of hay, 16 tons of marigold, 5,124 pounds of pork, 18,316 quarts, which is about 17,000 litres of milk, and 26,500 pounds of vegetables, just in the asylum.
So that was to feed just the people in the asylum, or they also sold to the town?
Not 100% sure.
No, I can't remember if he said
I
remember seeing the kitchen and all the stuff that he showed us.
But if they had, I don't know. At its height, it had almost 1,000 patients and over 500 staff. And as it stands today, the complex is made up of 63 buildings, ranging in age from the original wings built in the 1860s to the modern forensic unit built in 1991. A distinctive feature of Ararat and other early Victorian asylums is the use of a variation on ha-ha walls.
Oh God!
I don't know
she
why I
got
love the ha-ha wall.
So excited about this bloody wall.
A ha-ha wall is a clever landscaping feature that looks invisible from a distance but acts as a solid barrier. It is basically a deep ditch with one vertical stone or brick wall side and one sloped grassy side. Side?
Yeah, one side you come along and you think, oh, that's not very big, and you go across and you can look over it because it's not very, it's only less than 5 foot tall.
Because when you walk in, the wall looks very short. It only come up to maybe...
Yeah, so you could look over it easy. You can lean over.
Yeah, it was like maybe booby height.
Yeah, maybe booby height. So
Booby
if
height.
anyone knows what height Megan's boobies are, that's how high it is.
But you look at it and you're like, oh, that's like not a huge wall. But then the other side...
It's a drop.
It's a huge drop, and then the grass slopes back up on the other side. So if you were on the inside of the asylum, you could go down the ditch and look up at this giant wall.
And it was, ha, you're not getting over that.
Well, it was called ha-ha, hence the name ha-ha, because people were surprised when they reached it.
Yeah.
They were especially popular in large estates and gardens in the 18th century. The main purpose was to keep livestock like sheep or cattle from out of formal gardens without ruining the scenic views.
Oh.
Yeah. When patients arrived at Aradale, the following information was collected about them. Their date of admission, number in order of admission by gender.
Oh, okay. So I was the third female in the place.
Yeah. Date of admission, their full name, their gender, their age, condition as to marriage.
Condition as to marriage, as in shit marriage, good marriage, not so bad marriage.
I think maybe like single.
Oh, right.
married.
Is that the condition of
like,
marriage?
It's like your
marital
relationship
status.
status. It's complicated.
It's complicated.
Occupation, previous place of abode, by whose authority sent, date of medical certificates and whom signed, form of mental disorder, supposed cause of insanity, bodily condition, details and duration of existing and previous attacks, date of discharge.
This was all for every single person?
Yeah.
Wow.
Date of discharge, removal, or death.
Dun, dun,
Dun,
dun.
dun. So in 1900, the annual wage for a patient in Aradale was £66 for a man, which is about $127 now, or £35 for a woman, which is about $67 now.
Well, at least the scale stayed the same over all these years.
Yeah. In 1955, the dental surgery was opened. In 1980, the patients at Aradale were given voting rights for those who understood what a vote meant, and they started receiving the pension. So the first patient that was administered into Aradale Mental Hospital was 28-year-old Matilda Henry. Matilda was from Ballarat and had been working as a domestic servant, and she was put in the asylum as they were under the assumption that she had dementia.
She was 28?
Yeah.
And why did they think, did it say in the book why she had?
Not really.
Oh.
There was a lady in Aradale called Frances Fanny Terrell, whose maiden name was
Fanny.
Blake. So Fanny had 6 children.
Fanny was her middle name, wasn't it?
No, her name was Frances.
Oh.
Her middle name was Maria.
Oh, I thought you said something Fanny.
Frances Fanny. She went by
Right.
Fanny.
As you would, because it's such a cool name.
So Fanny had 6 children. Now we
So
realize.
she was insane. All right, fair enough.
Now we realize she was suffering from postpartum depression, but she went to Aradale 4 times. Each stay wasn't very long until her 4th time being, quote, arrested and charged with being a lunatic. Fanny ended up staying at Aradale for 28 years until her death in 1928. She was in Aradale for all those years because no one came to collect her after her 4th time being admitted.
Isn't that just, like, it's not even just disgusting from the family point of view. Like, okay, this prick's put her in and probably moved on to some fucking 30-year-old. But also on behalf of the asylum. That
they probably had to put her into someone's care.
No, but I mean, so she's gone into the asylum. Okay, yep.
Yeah.
But the admin at the asylum never ever went, this person's been here
send a
5
letter
years.
to your
Should we contact...
But they might have. We don't know. It was a fucking
I'd like to know. I'd be interested to know, did the asylum then also go, okay, after every 12 months or every 2 years, we should contact a family member and go, do you want to come and see if they're, up to scratch?
Yeah, maybe they tried. I don't know.
I don't know. I'd be interested to... Damn it, wish I thought of that when we were up there to...
All right, let's go back.
I'm going to have to go back. Or when we do the Beechworth one, we'll ask them.
Yeah.
If that was something that did the asylums ever contact families back again down the track and go, look...
She's doing really well.
She's great. She's working in the kitchen. She's doing
Maybe
this.
she was so great they wanted to keep her.
Oh, who knows? But, yeah,
So,
okay, that's the question. Pin it.
Also being in the early 1900s, and I believe the guide said that her husband and children lived about an hour away from Aradale.
Yeah.
It would have been, like, they had no cars. They had a horse and fucking carriage.
Yeah.
If they could afford a horse and carriage.
True.
So she probably spent the rest of her life very rarely, if ever, seeing her family. She did have a sister named Ellen, who was at Aradale for 9.5 months and then passed away in 1904, and a sister named Jessie, who was at Aradale for 10 days before dying. Around the 1950s, they started realizing that medication could help patients and then they could return back to the community. So, now we'll go to J Ward. J Ward was originally...
Hang on. Did you mention the woman whose son was in there and died at the same time? Who didn't know they were... Remember he told us there was a woman in there that she was in there for however long, many fucking years, and then her son was put in and a family member came back later down the track and they established that mum had been there and son had been there the entire time.
But didn't know.
And no one had put the two together and gone, that's your mum, that's your son.
Yes, because they had 2 different last names. Yeah.
And they never knew. And by the time they found out and the son found out, mum had already passed away.
Yeah, that's right.
See,
It was
I
a
do
2.5 hour tour.
I do remember some stuff. I just thought that was quite interesting. It's just like the same with, what was the story you told us about the people with Down syndrome, something about walking kids to the bus to go to school or something? Hey, you missed half this fucking story. Were you even there?
Was that, they had...
Kids that went into town to school.
The staff that lived on the grounds, and they'd obviously go to school. And the patients with Down syndrome would wait and go walk them to the bus and then come back and
then be there when then they came back from school on the bus. They'd
like
be
it
there.
Would have been some people, like obviously you're going to have people that actually should be in a mental asylum there. Yeah. But you're going to have like people like that, and it would have been like lovely until there was like code red, Jimmy's trying to bite his penis off again.
Okay. And we did have a lovely group of people. Well, mostly a lovely group of people.
Yeah.
There was 8 of us in total, and 6 of us
giggled
around, and I did. Oh no, it was the next one I offered to do the. No, it was this one. I wanted to do the Sound of Music. There's a big rotundum, isn't it? Like a
what's like a gazebo kind
gazebo type thing, massive thing that they used to sit in when they were outside because some patients couldn't deal with the sun.
Their medication
affected them if they're in the sun. So
apparently they had heaps of them.
Oh, did they?
That was that was
the only one we saw.
That is the gazebo is historical listed. They can't knock it down. Yeah,
it's beautiful. It's massive. It's huge. Thick. It's huge. But as we were walking down, I was piss farting around saying, "All right, when we get down there, I'm going to get John And
tour guide who was
John, the
probably
tour
like
guide,
80.
I think he was about 93, not out. And I kept saying to the others on the tour that I was going to do the Sound of Music. You are 16, going on 17.
You're a dipshit.
I had a few moments like that through the thing. So that's not all miserable.
I will post I've got it.
What, you filmed me doing my Sound of Music?
No, that was also the same spot we were standing, and I panned across the building, and then it's just you flipping me off at the end of it. I did get I was quite
you
proud
did
of how
not
much
get my
footage I
consent
got.
to record, so I'm sorry, it's illegal.
Suck my dick.
Oh.
You signed up for this. It's in your contract.
I don't have a contract. I don't get paid.
Want to bet? I did your sperm.
Excuse me?
Your signature looks like a fucking sperm.
Anywho.
Anyway, no, and then when we were going from the gazebo back to the building, that's when there was a slight incline, and I was holding onto your handbag.
Oh, yeah,
like,
you're an idiot.
Anyway, so J Ward. J Ward is, so there's Aradale. Recommend do that in the morning if you're going to just do a day of it. Make sure it's not 32 degrees or drink water.
Yes.
And then there's J Ward, which is
it was
literally
only
5 minutes.
Yeah,
around
5 minute drive away. McDonald's is in the middle. You can stop there if you want. But do you
That's what we
recommend
did.
the RSL? It was a beautiful meal.
We stopped. We had a wee.
We did.
Oh, and I injured my elbow.
That's right. Please tell everyone about your Aradale injury.
But it's funny because at the the old Aradale injury.
You fucking idiot.
So you start the tour, but then you finish the tour at the front of the building.
Yeah, with the big
So
sign.
there's this big cement sign.
Are you going to post that picture?
I'm going to post a picture, and
Cool.
I laid on it, and I did the whole
Yeah, I
how
thought
would
she
you
was a
explain
fucking
that?
supermodel.
You know, like paint me one of your French girls. And as I went down with my elbow, I scraped across all the fucking bluestone.
Which was 32 degrees.
Oh, yeah, it was
plus.
hot. I've still got a little scab. It's
Yeah,
still bumpy.
You burnt your skin, you idiot.
Yeah, it fucking hurt. Because I got up and I was like, oh, that was really hot. Like, I've just hurt my elbow from the heat. And then when we were in the car, because I was the passenger, I had my elbow on the the door.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, that really stings when I put it down. I looked down, there was a big bloody graze on it. Not very big. It was probably like a 5-cent piece big, but it fucking
It
stung.
was funny though. It was
Anyway,
the admission price just for that.
My Aradale injury. The
Yep.
old Aradale injury of 2026.
Yep. They would have locked you up in. They should have put.
No wonder they tried
thrown
to.
the key away.
Anyway, so J Ward. J Ward was originally built as a jail during the gold rush due to the influx of people in the area and opened in 1887. The county jail eventually didn't really have that many prisoners after people left the area. Gold rush finished, there was less people doing crime. So it became a place to house criminally and dangerous male patients under maximum security.
Yeah, so
There was male patients, male staff, male nurses. There was no female staff at J Ward.
That was something you didn't mention about the other place, the first place, was the doors. Remember the doors going into the male patients?
They had the slot. Oh, yes.
No, they were twice as wide so that two medical staff could go in together so that if one went in, they weren't being attacked by the bloke waiting to come out of the room. So two of them would walk in together side by side. The doors were really wide.
And they had the big diagonal.
There's so much interest. Like
it was
worth the tour. 100% was worth going on the tour.
Yeah, if you're in Ararat or just drive, it's 2 hours from Melbourne.
Yeah, 2 hours from Melbourne.
And it had a big, so you know, prisons, they have like a little glass slot.
Yeah.
This had a big diagonal glass slot from like left to right, so they could see the
across
whole
door.
room and
so
the
they could
situation.
see where they were.
Yeah,
it's like I'm about to open the door. They're not hiding somewhere. I can see them. That's where they are. But
yeah,
there was a lot of interesting little tidbits that he told us. Like, and I don't think you can do it on. You can't walk around on your own anyway.
No.
It has to be the guided tours.
That's why they do it on a Wednesday and Sunday, because that's when
volunteers will do it.
Volunteers all do it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's when they're allowed to, and they have to follow a specific path and certain rooms, and because it's either falling apart, covered in lead, or
Yeah, no, no, but like I said, the tour itself,
it's very interesting. I can't wait to do. Yeah, we're going to do Beechworth and Kew, and there's another one. There's ones in like Point Cook. There's Altona. There's heaps of they're more homesteads. They're ghost tours. Never mind. Anyway, so J Ward inmates were convicted murderers, accused of murder, too violent to be in a normal prison, or sentenced in Victoria, became insane while in prison, and then were sent to J Ward. So this was the creme de la creme of criminally insane. In the early days, J Ward subjected patients to things like being forcibly pinned onto a mattress to receive electroconvulsive therapy and to prevent self-harm, restrained in a smock with the sleeves sewn into the pockets. That's the one that the guy put his hands into.
Yeah, a version of a straitjacket.
You're in the toilet.
Hey, you got to go. You got to go.
And you had
And
to.
I had to
fucking
go.
So in the bathroom, ironically, for a male prison, it was a pink bathroom.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was all pink tiles.
Oh, I didn't go down there. I went to the one at the front with the admin.
No, the bathroom we went into.
What bathroom?
Then it had the showers and the bath on the floor.
Oh,
and the laundry part.
okay.
You went in there, you're like, yeah, what are we looking at?
Yeah, with the other two. Where
Yeah.
the tour guide's going, oh, and they this, and this. And we're all looking at these pictures going, what the fuck? They all look exactly the same. And he come out and he's like, so you saw that? And we're like, yep.
Yep.
No
But
idea.
yeah, all the tiles are pink.
Oh, okay.
So it had 3 showers and a bath. The bath was installed for an inmate who couldn't walk.
Yeah.
The tour guide told us about a man who was unable to walk and got around everywhere using his hands. He was being bullied by some men in a bar because he couldn't walk and get a drink at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
He killed one of the men and was sent to J ward. He was given custom-made shoes, slowly learned how to walk, and when he was released, he went and stood at a bar and had a beer.
Yeah, that was a cute ending.
Yeah, like he did kill someone, but...
Yeah, but they deserved it.
So the last governor of the jail was George Fidamont. In 1886, he had company over and was showing them around. They went to the underground kitchen. So this motherfucker, Alan was J
the
ward.
second one, yeah.
Alan, you were great, but fuck you. Every time we went somewhere, and because I think someone asked, like, oh, have you had any ghosts, experiences here? And he goes, oh, I was vacuuming the chapel and I did this and blah, blah, blah. We got to the chapel and we sat down. I sat on a pew and he goes, the ghost was over there. I'm like, fucking Alan, stop saying. Every time I went into a room, he's like, oh, there was ghost activity or something moved.
He was obviously a very good tour guide because he could pick the Megan and this other young girl.
Yeah.
Like he'd go, she don't want to go in first. And she'd be like, no. And she'd make her boyfriend go in first or whatever. So he could pick the crowd of who to take the piss out of, basically.
Yeah.
Without taking the piss out of you.
And he knew, like, I can fuck around with these people.
Yeah, exactly. He
like
was
at one
very
point
good.
he was like, this glass is really thick, and then fucking banged on it.
Gave us all we all shit ourselves.
So last part of the tour, you go downstairs to this creepy dark fucking kitchen, and then there was this dark little hallway, and we all sent the young dude down first, and we're like, you go down into that dark room.
And if you don't come back, we'll be gone.
And we're like, all right, we'll see his reaction. He walked in and went, oh. And we're like, oh, what the fuck is in there? You walk in, it's a
dirty old bath. It was a bath.
It was a bath, but
bathtub.
the room was like half.
And it was like black. It was all like as
It
if it
was
was
so
burnt
dark,
or
because it used to
something.
be a meat smoking room eventually.
That's right.
So he takes you down there, and he's like, the old governor, he had friends.
This is a spoiler alert, so if you don't want to know what old Alan does,
no,
turn away now.
So we went underground the kitchen, and they went downstairs, and he was showing him, this is my meat smoking room, blah, blah, blah. Then you come out to the hallway, and old Alan's telling you about this story, about George showing his friends around. And then George had a massive heart attack and dropped dead while he's showing his friends around.
Yeah. And he
at the same time.
But he points where it is. He's like, right
where I was standing.
Again.
Right where I was standing, Alan.
I know.
And he goes, he dropped your head right there. And then a fucking timer switches and the light goes off and everyone's just in the dark, and I screamed.
It was the best. He times it to perfection.
It was perfect.
So if you want to stitch one of your friends up, don't play this to them. And just do the tour and wait till you go downstairs in the dark in the kitchen.
The light switch that pops out on the timer was fucking right next to me as well. It went pop and then bing and then dark and then I died.
And then you died.
And I had a heart attack and dropped on the floor.
It was fucking brilliant though. Absolutely brilliant.
It was great.
Obviously that was the best part of his tour for him. He waits and he's like, I'm going to get this lot.
Anyway, so on the property of J Ward, 3 men were executed and buried there.
Mm-hmm.
So the first man was Andrew Vare. On the 12th of January, 1869, at about 2 p.m., gunshots were heard at I can never say this name, St. Arnaud?
Yeah.
We've got fucking streets and everything around it. St. Arnaud's. A man named John Smith went towards the sound and found Amos Chalet lying on the ground. Amos just managed to tell John that Andrew Vare had shot him. Amos had been shot twice and had died 30 minutes afterwards. Andrew managed to get about 50 miles out of Adelaide when he was arrested and admitted to the crime from St. Arnaud's.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like a good 5 hours.
Okay.
Anyway, he was hanged at Ararat Jail on the 15th of August, 1870. Ararat Jail was the name of J Ward before it became J Ward.
Yes.
Then the second man hung there was Henry Morgan. Anyway, so on the 17th of November, 1883, Henry Morgan raped and murdered 10-year-old
Yep.
Margaret Noland at Panmure.
And I hope the Nolan family were able to be the ones that pulled the trigger.
Spit on his grave. Go to past J Ward.
Yeah.
He spotted her the day before and asked her to hold his horse. He then raped her and violently strangled her. He was hanged at 9 a.m. on the 6th of June, 1884 at the Ararat Jail.
Good.
And then there was Robert Francis Burns.
Mr. Burns.
Excellent. I don't think he was very excellent.
Doubt it. Not if he was killed.
Robert Francis Burns was born in 1840 in Limerick, Ireland. He migrated to Australia in 1860 due to the gold rush. In 1868, he married Ellen O'Leary, and the couple went on to have 8 children.
I was just going to say
the
30.
good old Irish way. On the 1st of July 1880, the body of a man was found near the bush near Wycliffe. The man had had his skull smashed, presumably with a hammer. After a post-mortem, it was estimated that the man had died about 6 weeks before, and he was Michael Quinlivan. There once was a man named Michael Quinlivan, had some hammers smashed on his head again. So Michael and Robert were both worked for a contractor, and they were described as being great mates, and they were the only 2 Irishmen at the company. The 2 men had been witnessed by many people travelling from Hamilton up to Ararat, and was the last person to be seen with Michael before his body was found several weeks later. On the 17th of January 1882, a miner, not a child, the other miner, came upon a headless corpse near Stawell. And
Stall.
it says well. Stawell. Stawell.
Stall. But anyway, keep going.
That would be Stall, like a horse.
Keep going, you fuckwit.
The body was naked. It wasn't until April that the body was identified to be Charles Forbes, who was usually known as Scotty Forbes.
Scotty.
I just don't know how some people get there. Like, it seems like a big leap from their name.
Yeah, like how Ross is red.
Yeah. After police inquiries, it was discovered that Scotty was last seen in the company of Robert Francis Burns.
Uh-huh.
After his trial, he was sentenced to death and was held at the Ararat Jail. And when having a visit from a priest, he had a full confession. On the 25th of September, 1883, he was hanged. Apparently, right before he was hanged, he told the hangman that he'd actually killed 8 people.
That's right.
5 in Victoria and 3 in Sydney. And then they went, oh, okay.
Yeah, such is life.
Now, let me tell you about the pumpkin patient.
Hang on, you didn't say about the hanging, how they said it had to be over the, what was it, the right ear?
Either the right ear or the left ear.
One of the ears, obviously we took a lot of notice.
Well, we're not going to be bloody fucking executioners.
No, but I mean,
soon.
how it was interesting how it had to be on that side, so that when the rope thing, it had to prop the neck, and if they didn't die, then one of the jail staff would literally jump on because you're up on the second floor of this jail, where the hanging was. The same with Melbourne Jail and that. And if they didn't snap and die within a certain amount of time, the staff would hang onto the body and pull the weight of the body down to make sure they
had
died.
To hang for
That'd be a
20
cool job, wouldn't it? No, he needs to die. Well, the one that did the 10-year-old kid, I would have fucking jumped on the prick.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, but anyway, I thought that was quite interesting.
Smell? Because you shoot yourself when you get hung. You just snap, crack, poop.
Pop.
Poop.
Snap, crack, pop. Is that where that comes from? They just took the O out.
Yeah, and then Rice Bubbles were okay, that's great.
Snap, crackle, pop.
Prick. Stall, Victoria.
Stall. Well, fucking spell it right.
Stall, Victoria.
No.
I rest my cat. Yes! You grew up
There's an E in it!
You live in Victoria, you fuckwit. It's called Stall.
Anyway.
I can't see you through your fucking vape smoke, you dirty
I'm
bitch.
trying to create ambience for my pumpkin pal.
Fucking ambience.
So J Ward had a vegetable garden, and one patient took particular interest in the pumpkins. He was obsessed. He just loved his pumpkins.
He's a pumpkin man.
He watered them, he weeded them, he fertilized them, and he took
Probably fucked them.
great pride in growing the pumpkins. Everyone knew not to mess with his pumpkins.
Don't mess with the pumpkin man.
Even the
Do you know
staff,
the pumpkin man, the pumpkin man, the pumpkin man?
even the staff would ask permission for them to use his pumpkins for the kitchen.
Yeah, well, they're fucking psychos. That's what they're there for.
It literally, like, you came here because you were too insane for prison.
That's right.
except when one staff member just took a pumpkin from the yard without asking. The patient took his time, growing out what he described as a humongous pumpkin, and then took it into the kitchen asking if they wanted it to make pumpkin soup. The staff told them to just pop it on the bench and they would make some later that week. The next morning, the staff walked into the kitchen and were hit with a horrendous smell. The patient had been patient and had grown this pumpkin, hollowed it out, and then used it as a toilet for the week before giving it to the kitchen.
Fair enough. They were told
touch
not
his
to touch
pumpkin.
his pumpkins.
Yeah.
Like, a man's pumpkins are sacred.
Anyway, and another brief inmate at J Ward was Mark Chopper Reed.
Yeah. Oh, chop chop.
So Mark Chopper Reed was also in J Ward for a few months after being transferred from Pentridge after he arranged for a fellow inmate to cut off both his ears. So I have a few other patients of inmates of whatever.
Gonna guess Penis Man.
Yes.
Yeah, of course he was going to be one of your fucking favourite stories.
So whatever.
Mind you, you didn't say even though if you had a look at our Instagram when we did the Melbourne jail, how some imbecile laid on the ground to see if she could touch the walls.
I was going to.
Yeah, no, but it wasn't really the
It wasn't the
vibe. These ones I would say were a little bit smaller. The rooms didn't seem. I think if you'd laid on there,
Yeah.
I think you would have been able to touch both walls quite easily. They didn't seem as wide, the rooms. And the windows, they were quite interesting too. The wooden...
But they shut, yeah. So it was all
they were
dark.
like a big
they were shut
wooden...
and locked.
Yes, they were really interesting, the windows.
So, Gary Webb. Gary Webb was actually born Gary Ian Patrick David on the 20th of November 1954 in Melbourne, Australia. His dad, Rupert, was a criminal and pedophile who served time in prison and psychiatric hospitals. His mother, Betty, was an alcoholic.
Oh, and you bet. Yeah, well, with the husband and son like that, I'm surprised.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't
Nah,
yet.
she knew.
When Gary was 4 years old, he and his siblings were all placed in an orphanage. He bounced around a few boys' homes until he turned 18, which boys' homes in Victoria, anywhere really, in the 50s to 70s.
Mm-hmm.
One that came up that actually named what boys' home he was in was the Turana Boys' Home.
Oh, yeah.
Turana is the Aboriginal word for rainbow, which is ironic because probably none of them were lovely.
True.
An article about the home from the Little Lawyers website said, survivors reported that they suffered sexual, physical and emotional abuse during their time as children at Turana. A survivor reports that during his time
Where was Turana located?
I don't know.
Parkville, yeah.
Oh, near the zoo?
Yeah.
Oh, well. Anyway. A survivor reported that during his time at Turana Youth Training Centre, the staff believed that he was a homosexual and referred him for treatment to be cured of his homosexuality through conversion therapy.
Oh, yeah. That always works.
He had an electrode strapped to his ankle, and when he was shown images, of naked men and women.
Bit like Bridgerton.
He reported. He reports that he received an electric shock when a naked man appeared on the screen.
Mm.
The same happened in American Horror Story Asylum, and she was a lesbian, and he would make her diddle herself when there was a man, and then she'd like get fucking... Oh no, he gave her something to throw up, so she was looking at naked women, and it would make her throw up.
Oh, okay, well, in Bridgerton, the original where they go back to the Queen when she was young.
Oh, Charlotte.
Yeah, the husband... They do all that to him.
Oh, God.
You got to watch it, the original one.
I
It's
need
really
to,
good.
Season. Anyway, concentrate, lady.
Oh,
so the Royal
what it
Commission
was.
on Turana found staff, known as screws, at Turana Youth Training Centre were known for their brutality and physical punishments. For example, in the maximum security sections, known as Popular House, it was common for boys to be bashed quite badly, and the punishments meted out were always degrading. There was no supervision of the dormitories at night time. This is when most of the most boys were sexually and physically abused. Complaints about the abuse were met with inaction and punishment.
Yeah, of course it was.
There was no medical treatment provided for injuries or medical conditions. Medical examinations were often painful and degrading, and wards who ran away from Turana Youth Training Centre to escape abuse were generally returned by police In
And
some
copped it
instances,
twice as bad, I'm
they
guessing.
were beaten by the police, and usually no inquiry was made by the police as to why the boys ran away.
Mm-hmm.
And that is just one boys' home.
Yeah.
Like, God
How did we
almighty.
get onto that?
Gary Webb was in a boys' home.
Oh, I was just going to say, how did we jump from...
Well,
I'm still up in Ararat somewhere and you've moved back down to Parkville. I was like...
Yeah, so he was in a boys' home from the age of 4 to 18.
Okay.
So, and that was just one of the ones that was listed he was at.
Yeah.
At the age of 11, he was picked up for larceny, threat making, and offences of dishonesty, which I googled. Examples include theft, fraud, embezzlement, forgery, money laundering, and handling stolen goods.
Oh, okay. I'm guessing it was most likely the last one.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
When Gary was 13, he was diagnosed with a personality disorder and psychopathic traits. Between 1976 and 1984, Gary was admitted into psychiatric facilities on 8 different occasions. During his time at the was that your stomach? That sounded like a car was going past. Jesus Christ. Okay, we're going to feed her between episodes. Fucking hell.
Oh my God. If that happens again, I'm going to put the microphone down. Oh, that was weird.
So also during his time in J Ward, he began to self-mutilate.
Ah, this is him.
For example, he would swallow razor blades, cut off part of his ears and his left nipple, injured his genitals, including cutting off his penis 3 times.
Yeah.
Bro, why fucking reattach it after the first time?
Exactly.
Just teach him how to piss sitting down and move him on.
Oh, God.
He also hammered nails into his feet
Oh.
and would swallow corrosive liquids. In 1982, Gary stole a car and a rifle and drove down to the Mornington Peninsula.
Do you know how to... You're quite happy
No.
with that? Stole.
With the plan to kill as many police officers as he could. When he couldn't find an attended station, he went into a pizza parlour in Rye, Victoria, and got the attention of the people inside by smashing a bottle against a wall. The owner of the pizza shop's wife came out to see what the commotion was, and Gary shot her.
Oh.
She survived, but she was rendered a paraplegic.
Oh, Jesus.
Gary then waited for the police to show up and then shot at them. Police returned fire and got Gary in the leg. He was arrested and sentenced to 14 years imprisonment and for the attempted murder of 3. Again, I put this on my Instagram story. Just because you fucked up the murder doesn't mean you should get a lesser sentence. Attempted murder. Oh, you get less time because you're stupid. Like, no.
Yeah, but they didn't murder anyone.
But they tried and they failed.
They tried, so they still go to jail for being a fucking asshole.
Anyway.
But they didn't commit murder. So it is 2 different crimes.
Potato, potato.
Oh, you're a fucking potato.
The end of his sentence was coming up in February 1990, but in January, Gary was certified under Section 16 of the Mental Health Act of 1986 as a security patient and detained in J Ward at Aradale Hospital, Ararat.
Mm-hmm.
In May 1990, the board found Gary was not mentally ill and recommended he be discharged as an involuntary patient. The Victorian government faced the dilemma of respecting Gary's rights to freedom and the protection of the community upon his release from prison. The government sought to keep Gary Webb imprisoned indefinitely by introducing the Community Protection Act of 1990. They made a fucking legislation because of this guy.
Well, fair enough.
On the 11th of June 1992...
To make it about someone.
On the 11th of June 1992, Gary Webb completed suicide by ingesting razor blades that led to peritonitis. He was only 38.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay, I was expecting him to be so much older.
No. We have an old guy now.
Oh, okay.
William.
Oh, he'll probably be 39.
William Richard Wallace.
Oh, Willie Wallace.
Was born in August 1881 in New South Wales. His parents were Alexander and Walterina Wallace.
Walterina. That's a woman.
Walterina. Yeah, I kind of like Walterina.
Oh, for God's sake.
I feel like her dad must have been Walter, and they're like, we need to continue the family name.
And
anyway,
what, Mum was Tina, so we put them together and
no,
got
like
Walterina.
like Walter. Anyway, there was a whole story about a turtle, but I can't be fucked. So my uncle and auntie, they got a turtle from the Murray River, and they thought it was a boy, so they named him Butch. And then they took him to the vet, and they're like, no, the shape on his belly is different. It's actually a girl. So they named her Butcherella.
Who did this?
George.
Oh, okay. Enough said.
So that was my sidetrack about a turtle. So in 1926, he was arrested after shooting an American man in Melbourne after he asked him to stop smoking inside the Waterloo Cafe. The American man, fucking Jesus Christ.
What?
William Ernest Williams.
Oh, for God's sake, get a bit of variety.
Refused to stop smoking, so Bill shot him. 2 doctors declared that Bill was insane and unfit to stand trial, and so he was sent to J Ward. He seemed to live his best life at J Ward. He always wore a suit, which he brought a new one annually from a tailor
he
in
was
Ararat.
rich, wasn't he?
I don't think he was like rich, but he was like, he was living his best life. Ironically, Bill was said to be one of the heaviest smokers in J Ward.
Oh, that's funny.
He may have been one of the oldest prisoners, but he was, quote, fully capable of kicking one's head off. One night in the dining hall, a fellow inmate asked Bill if he was going to eat the slice of bread he had on his plate. As he asked, the inmate started moving his hand towards Bill's plate. Bill responded by stabbing the inmate in the hand with his fork.
As you would. You would.
Fuck yeah, don't touch my bread.
Mate, someone's going, you have to, your food to be on like
I
Donkey
ran for
Kong.
snacks yesterday with an injured leg.
Brad's reaction when he's like...
Your leg!
He's like, what about... He goes, this flash of light just went past. He said, she's been hovering and hopping and carrying on all fucking afternoon, and then you flew when you thought there was food.
Would it be a nuisance to get crutches and go in on Tuesday? And I'll get one of those scooters that you can kneel on.
I'll get Nan's walking frame for you. You idiot.
So in 1981, Bill celebrated his 100th birthday in J Ward, which also led to a petition for his release, which was granted. When Bill was told he was free to go, he refused to leave, saying, quote, "Don't be fucking silly. I live here."
Yeah, good on him.
For his 100th birthday, the staff at J Ward gifted him a chess set, which, when you finish the J Ward tour and they show you your last part, the chess set's still there.
Yeah, and his 100th birthday picture's up there too.
And he doesn't look like 100.
No, he did. Tell you what, they age well in a mental asylum or a jail.
Let's go. But yeah, because I remember seeing there was lots of lawn bowls and there was a big chess set, and I was like, oh, that's like maybe it was like they played chess. Bill was soon moved to the geriatric ward of Aradale Mental Hospital when he died on the 17th of July 1989, a few weeks before his 108th birthday. So,
who was the guy? There was another guy that did the garden at the front, did the well and whatever. He had money, didn't he?
No, he was a concreter and he killed his wife, and then he was a concreter, so he made the concrete well that's at the front of J Ward. So what happened that took these institutions from wrapping people in straitjackets and giving them electroconvulsive therapy to patients playing bingo and having a therapy room where they did art? A large chunk of this is due to a man named Dr. Eric Cunningham Dax.
Oh, is this the one where you threw in your fact? Yeah, smart ass. So although he will add it to his next tour.
I hope so. So Dr. Eric was born in 1908 in the UK and was a psychiatrist. Throughout the 1930s and 1940s, he worked in England with other psychiatrists who contributed to the development of chemical shock, electroconvulsive therapy, and the lobotomy.
Oh, God. Live, laugh, fucking lobotomy.
Dr. Eric Cunningham Dax is the man who brought the lobotomy to Victoria, Australia.
You weren't that excited? You didn't know that? Did they say that?
I fucking didn't. I didn't know he brought the lobotomy to Australia.
Because he didn't say that on the tour,
No.
did he? No.
So he was a part of bringing electroconvulsive therapy and lobotomy and all these like treatments to Australia.
Yep.
But then he was like, this is not the right way.
Oh, okay.
And he was a lot of the driving force that was like, hey, we need like medication and them to like pat horses and shit.
Okay.
Like, probably not pat horses, but like therapy like that, where it's like, make pottery and like, let's not shock their fucking brain and give them a lobotomy. Look, wouldn't say no to a lobotomy. So in 1952, Dr. Eric was appointed as chairman of Victoria's Mental Hygiene Authority. He was very unimpressed by the conditions of the various facilities and implemented a 4-point plan in order to revive Victoria's mental health services.
Okay.
These were to establish early treatment centres in order to prevent institutionalisation. You don't have to screenshot them. You know there's a button that can save them. Recruit more staff with improved wages.
Mm-hmm.
Give patients a new and better standard of living throughout the state, and rejuvenate old mental hospitals such as Ararat.
Oh, there you go.
Dr. Eric was in this position in 1968, where he introduced major reforms to the mental health services. These included the moving of psychiatric treatment from asylum to community settings and the introduction of art programs for patients. In his later career, Dr. Eric was the Community Health Service Coordinator in the Mental Health Services Commission, Tasmania.
Mm-hmm.
And in 1984, he assessed Martin Bryant.
Which is what you told the man on the tour.
Yes,
'cause
I
you know
did.
all about it.
Because when we went, I was like fucking balls deep at Martin Bryant. Oop.
You were
And
what?
he was balls deep in someone else getting Mars bars. Anyway, Martin Bryant, for those who's not recognising the name, is the man that committed the Port Arthur massacre in Tasmania in 1996. We will cover him
very soon.
very soon.
Because he's got the 30th anniversary coming up.
Yes, and I was researching that because that was the reason we went to Ararat, was to interview someone regarding that case.
Yes.
So, on the 9th of May 1991, Health Department Victoria received a letter from a public advocate raising various issues of concern about Aradale, with reports of sexual assault, sexual misconduct, bestiality, physical assault, and theft having been alleged against staff, patients, and residents. As a result, the Health Department Victoria Task Force was established to investigate the allegations. The claims were looked into, and the task force found that a lot of breaches were occurring at Aradale.
Mm.
I don't think it wasn't as it was bad, but it wasn't as bad as the letter claimed. Like all this shit was happening.
Mm-hmm.
They also found the institutions such as Aradale were becoming obsolete. The residents had fallen. There were 641 patients in 1977, and by 1991 there were only 245. The decommissioning of Aradale began in the early 1990s, with patients transferred to community living and to other facilities. After December 1993, the Ararat Forensic Psychiatry Centre was the only remaining ward. In 1997, the remaining patients were eventually transferred to Rosanna. It was estimated that 27% of Aradale's population were employed at Aradale.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think I fucked that up. I think I said Aradale twice. But 27% of Ararat's population was employed there. So when they shut down...
Between the kitchen and the medical and nurses and cleaners and the gardens and
Yeah, so 27, like a quarter of Ararat's population worked there.
Yeah.
And then it just shut down. As he said, it was like 2 months and bang, it was
It's
closed.
gone, yeah.
So Aradale Mental Hospital was closed in 1997. It has seen 13,000 deaths in its 130-year history.
Shit.
In 2002, Melbourne Polytechnic took over the facility and currently still owns it and lets Friends of J Ward run tours on Wednesdays and Sunday morning, and J Ward runs tours every day.
Mm.
And that is Aradale and J Ward.
I want to find the one on Footscray because I remember Kathy used to work there, and when I would meet her, I'd have to wait outside because there was, like, I remember vague story. I don't remember a lot of them, but there's a couple of stories that she'd be like, nurses would be trying to get patients out of the bath and the patients would pull them into the bath. Or they'd come up. There was an older woman that used to come up and put her arm like through someone's arm as if she was being nice, and then she'd just like wind her nails around and scratch the fuck out of the inside of their arm.
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, I remember that story. She'd just be nice and then just go meow, and I'd be like,
oh god.
But yeah, she worked there for ages.
Wow.
I couldn't do it. A certain brand of person. You
got to be a certain type.
Yeah,
like even just to be a nurse.
Like I've
or
worked with elderly, but not.
Yeah.
Not.
It's you take a certain type of person to be a.
To be able to deal with all that.
Yeah, or even a nurse or a support worker. Like you.
It's a lot.
Yeah, you do deal with a lot. Like I've worked in the office as a support worker, and some of the incidents that have come through, you're like, oh Jesus, how do you? And then go back to work with the person.
That's right. Or how do you just sleep?
Yeah. Anyway.
Anywho, that was interesting.
Highly recommend.
That was our fun weekend.
That was our weekend away.
Yeah.
Another excursion. Probably kind of 6 months we go on an excursion somewhere.
Yeah, pretty much.
So thank you for listening. Highly recommend if you live in Victoria or you're going to visit Victoria, go to Ararat or Melbourne Jail. There's a lot of things to do here.
Yeah, Melbourne Jail was a good one. Ararat, that like I said, do the two.
Yeah.
If you can plan it, that you go up either on a Sunday morning, or
The whole-
like us, we stayed overnight on the Saturday night because we had to
With
interview
things
that
on
other
Saturday.
person. Yeah.
I think one day is a lot, but if you could go up, do the J ward on the Saturday, do the Aradale on the Sunday, might break it up a bit.
Yeah, or as you said, if it wasn't a hot day, it
yeah,
would have been fine
Yeah.
doing both of them. But it was
'Cause
it was so hot, and you're in and out. You're in the building, you're out in
Yeah,
the sun,
it's
you're in the building.
probably
and then
like-
afterwards, it was just I felt so dehydrated. It was like I could have drank a swimming pool.
It was probably like 80% outside.
Yeah.
It was, and the first part's outside,
Yes.
and then the last.
Because every
part's
time he'd
outside.
stop to say something, we'd all kind of
We'd all
hover
hover
towards any shadow
shade,
or
yeah.
tree that we could find. We were all sort of scooching around while he's talking. It's like, yep, we're in the shade now. Off you go.
Yeah, well, he had a hat in his water bottle.
Yeah, well, he'd been there before. He knew the drill. We didn't.
Yes. Well,
We were stupid.
thank you for listening. You can follow us on Instagram at mainly_murder, or join our Patreon, where we have bonus episodes. We have a fun trivia episode coming up that we're going to be recording today, and I can't wait for you to do it.
Oh my God. Okay. This should be interesting.
Patreon, buy us coffee if you don't want extra episodes, but you still want to support us. Buy us
Plus
coffee.
Pepsi.
Buy
I
us
think
Pepsi.
they really should add a buy a Pepsi
Oh, dear
option.
God. I
Well,
think
not
you could
everyone
change
drinks
it.
tea or coffee.
Yeah, but the platform is called Buy Us Coffee.
Well, it should be buy us a drink.
It's to caffeinate the creators that make things.
Well, Pepsi does that. I feel I'm going to write to... Who am I writing to?
oh, fuck if I know. You can write to us at...
I don't want to write to us. I want to write to...
You can write to
the
us. You can email
people,
us at...
the podcast, and change it to buy a beverage. Buy a beverage would be better. Buy a tea, buy a coffee, buy a Pepsi Max. Not everyone drink... I don't drink tea or coffee.
Anyway,
Okay.
email us at MainlyMurderPodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I got anything
And
else.
if you agree with me, sign my petition. It'll be up soon.
Oh, dear God. I have a petition to have you locked up in fucking Arundel. I keep going to say Arundel, which is not Aradale. Arundel is the city that they live
TV show
in. They live in Frozen.
Oh.
The movie for... Oh, yeah. What are you thinking of?
I was thinking of Jughead and Archie, and I thought that was something.
Oh, that's
at Arundel.
Riverdale.
Riverdale. I thought that was
There's a lot of
Aradale. Or
Dales.
so, I don't know. Anyway.
Anyway, we'll see you next Tuesday.
Yeah, see you next Tuesday.